Hey everybody, it's Matt, and today we are reviewing the myGEKOgear Scout Pro 3-channel dash cam, now available at Best Buy and online at bestbuy.ca. Really excited to see one of these out in the market and get to try one. 3 channels means that you get a front camera, a rear camera, as well as an in-cabin camera, and that's really cool. It's a really cool feature, and I think this is going to be great for rideshare operators. Everything I've read about this so far is very positive. Let's take it outside and unbox it, and let's get it on the road. All right, let's have a look at what's inside the box and some of the other features. So there is a mobile app to go along with this, and I'm kind of hoping it's not the same one that goes with the myGEKO Orbit 951, because that mobile app, it doesn't look like it's supported anymore and wasn't that great. But there's some great features here. Obviously, it comes with a memory card. 32 gigs. I'm curious, on a 3-channel recording, I feel like that would only get you about an hour or so of recording, but it supports up to 256. So that's good. There's night vision capabilities, GPS logging, rideshare friendly, which of course it's great that there's 3 channels. You out there with Uber and Lyft and any sort of ride sharing that you're doing, a great idea to have, cameras all around you. Like I said at the beginning, sometimes you had to choose between the front and the cabin and front and rear. Now you got all 3 here. So this is one that I have mentioned in multiple reviews that I'd like to see, and happy that I get the chance to review one of these now. So here is, this I believe is, this is the mount for the front. We've got our front camera here. Here's what it looks like. Looks like a pretty elaborate mount and series of hookups. Keep opening the box. Oh, it looks like it's not just a thing that pulls out. All right, let's take 2 on this one in a sec. Yeah, it definitely needed both hands for that to open the box. So there's the user manual. You've got a mini USB cable. Here is your rear camera hookup. So that's your rear camera. This kind of looks similar to the camera from the Orbit 951. It's a little bit smaller. There's your regular power source there, as well as hardwiring through your OBD port, so this is great. This does look similar to the 951, except the 951 is a USB-C, so unfortunately not going to be able to reuse that, and we'll have to go with that one. There's our memory card. We've got some static stickers and our wire clips. All right, so this is going to get installed in my passenger sedan, and we're going to go take it out for a drive.
There isn't really that much to say about installation. It's pretty straightforward. You just have to plug everything in and get going. The trickiest part of installation is actually figuring out where on your windshield you want this to go. It's a bit wide and might disturb your peripheral a bit, but you can't place it too high up or else your in-cabin camera won't get a good view. You have a bit of flexibility though, because the mount itself swivels and the cabin camera can be moved up and down a little bit too. I settled on a spot that obscured my view into the cabin a little bit, but if I'm a rideshare operator, I want a little bit more focus on my passengers than myself, so I tried to point it more toward the back seat, specifically to where my daughter sits, because I wanted to focus less on the angle of the camera while I was reviewing this, and more on the video quality with passengers in the back seat, just to show off whether it was good or not. So let's talk about the camera logistics. You have 2 main recording features. You can record with all 3 channels, where your front camera sits in 2K, cabin camera records at 1080p, and the rear camera is full 1080p as well. If you disconnect the rear camera, the front records at 4K, and the cabin remains at 1080p. I think it's worth recording all 3 channels though, because the footage this camera outputs is really good, especially when you consider that it offers all 3 channels for the price of many 2-channel cameras. There's a third-party app that syncs up with this camera called LuckyCam. It definitely wasn't developed in-house by myGEKO, but unlike the other app they use for some of their other cameras, this one was updated recently, and it works like a charm whenever you need to connect to your phone to the camera. Just hold down the middle button on the dash cam to turn on the local Wi-Fi feed and follow the directions in the app. It's that simple. You can take care of a few things in the app, or you can just use the menus on the camera to change your recording settings, and everything's customizable, from timestamps, audio recording, and even loop recording from 1 minute to 3. You've been watching along mainly with the front and rear camera footage, but here's inside the cabin. As you can see, my face is clear and my passenger's face is really clear, which is really good for those of you who want to film inside your vehicle. It's just as good here at night, and depending on the situation, it'll move seamlessly between black and white night vision and color, depending on how much outside light is being cast on the car. I was really impressed at just how quickly and seamlessly this moved along. Outside the vehicle, the night footage is pretty good. This is probably the clearest rear camera footage I've ever seen at night, with glare capture minimized even throughout. I was really impressed by the way that this all shook out at night, especially when I've had trouble with everything from road glare to extra window glare and all things in between. This is definitely a huge thumbs up in favor of this dashcam system. The dashcam comes with a 32 gig memory card. All three cameras chew up the recording time on the card, and so you'll be lucky to get about an hour of recording footage out of it. If you consider leaving continuous parking mode on, which you can turn on and off by the flick of the OBD wiring power kit switch, it doesn't drop recording quality, so factor that in. I just decided to throw in a 256 gig memory card to test it alongside the one that it came with. And while the camera doesn't recognize it right away, it does format it inside the dashcam to its desired specs and then start recording. So that's a really big win. Overall, this is a really high-performing system at a mid-range price. I'm really impressed by it, and the video quality far surpassed my expectations. Now, the only flaw with this camera, quite honestly, is the mount. The mount itself is not great. On the surface, the idea of interlocking teeth and a clip sound great, but the problem with the whole thing is that it's made of plastic and it seems pretty fragile. In fact, by the end of this review, my camera was sitting a little bit lopsided and right of center, and I'm pretty sure the few times I had to remove the camera from its mount during review, as well as maybe even the hot sun, I'm not 100% sure about that, it might have impacted that into where it was sitting slightly off center. I'm sure this isn't normal and would probably be covered under warranty, but it was definitely a bit of a turnoff for me. Not that I wouldn't recommend this, though. I'm sure that 99% of you wouldn't be stress testing this the way that I do during my reviews, so keeping it on the mount and keeping it in one place at all times should just keep everything in tip-top shape, and you should be fine. Can't believe it's raining in the middle of July, but at least we got that rainy 4K footage, right? This is a really good camera top to bottom in all three channels. Whether you go 2 or 3 channel, it's great. The only thing, again, that I have against this is the mounting bracket. I'm just not the biggest fan, but it's not enough for me not to recommend this camera. So this is the Scout Pro 3-channel dash cam from myGEKOgear, now available at Best Buy and online at bestbuy.ca. Thanks for watching this review. My name is Matt. Please subscribe to this channel for more reviews like this, and we'll see you next time.